Today on Ask the Oracle, our title is Unlocking Family Healing, a conversation with the beautiful Bec Rosie. In this captivating episode of Ask the Oracle, we're joined by the inspiring Bec Rosie. She's a health and wellness coach specialising in family constellations and life coaching. Dive into the profound world of family constellations, a system developed by a German psychotherapist by the name of Burt, which connects us to our family members and ancestors, addresses deep-seated energetic disruptions caused by various life events. Learn how this beautiful and life-changing work can literally transform your life. Hi, Bec. How are you, my love?
Hi, Susie. How are you?
Very good, lovely. Now tell me, I just wanted to get Bert's name correctly. So what is his actual name?
It's Burt Hellinger. He,
Hellinger.
yeah, he's a German. He was a German psychotherapist who. Sorry, shall I go into who
Yes,
he
go
is now?
into that. Yeah.
So he was a German psychotherapist who spent some time with the Zulu tribes in Africa, and he observed the tribes and how they have these rivers of love, orders of love. He calls them.
Oh,
He called
wow.
them running through our family systems, and then when these are disrupted through any sort of trauma, anxiety,
Yes.
depression,
Yeah.
disease, that um, that it impacts the family soul basically.
Oh,
Uh,
wow. I'm really
yeah.
looking forward to diving deep into that with you. So I've got some questions for you. So what
Yes.
inspired you to become a health and wellness coach? And specifically to work with family constellations, because I know that you're very passionate about this work and you've seen some incredible results with people. So, yeah, what inspired you, my love? Yeah.
I think we all have trauma, and I
Yes.
think I mean, I firmly personally believe that we're here to learn, grow, and evolve, and then we go home. That's what I believe.
Yes,
But
I
I
do too.
always think that there's more work to do
Yes.
on yourself. Um,
Yeah.
so, but also, it was a friend of mine who I used to work with, and she used to teach it, and she's extremely passionate about it. And when I started to do it, Sue Oshwager is her name, with her, she said to me, I knew you'd love it because it's basically all about love. It's because that's all there is as far as I'm concerned. So it's about restoring the orders of love into your family system.
Oh, I love that so much. Can you explain to our listeners how family constellations work and
Yep.
what would a typical session involve with you, Bec?
So a client comes to me with an issue, and we work out what they want to work towards. So it might be peace, or it might be a better relationship with your husband, and we can do it online with I tune into crystals, or else in person we have mats, and we place down a mat for the client, place down a mat for any other family members. They don't need to be present because we work with the knowing field, and all of the information is in the family soul. So the knowing, all the information is there. We don't need anybody to be there, and it's amazing the information that comes from standing on the mats. People are always quite amazed with the information that comes
Oh,
through.
I love
Actually,
that so much. I love that and you're quite right, there's that energetic connection, whether or not someone's standing in front of you or not. Yeah.
oh, it's amazing,
So
isn't it?
it's
Yeah,
amazing. Yeah,
it is.
absolutely. So, how many sessions would someone typically need to start to see some results from family constellations, do you think, Bec?
Um, it's as much as anybody really wants. I mean, I've had
Okay.
one lady came to me for the first constellation, and she hadn't spoken to her father in years. And she actually rang me up and she said that it was life changing because now she has a relationship with her father. So, and that to me was great because yeah, it's really quite amazing work.
So,
Um,
I've got this question for you. It's just come to me now.
yeah.
So, do you also communicate with human spirits in the afterlife as well, or is it more
Um,
Is it?
It's more sort of like I sort of hop onto the mats and say, for instance, once
Yeah.
war was in there,
Yes.
and I could actually hear the bombs going off. So it's information in the knowing field. So it just, yeah, and
Yeah.
you hop onto a mat, say for, oh, say somebody's gone to war, or
Yes.
and you you ask the person who's the representative, like in a workshop,
Yeah.
what they're feeling, and
Yeah.
the information that comes through is amazing because, well, yeah, just the things that come through, and then, yeah, it's just about everything that's in the family system. It really is amazing, actually, what comes through.
I love that so much. And I just love the work of healing, our lineage, our family tree,
Absolutely.
being that pattern breaker, healing, ancestral trauma. This is really
Absolutely.
powerful work. And I
Absolutely.
love the way you explain that everything's in that knowing field. I mean, I've never heard it explained that way before. And
Yeah,
I
it's
think that's
amazing.
really quite profound. And yeah, yeah. So family members don't need to be present. You can do it online.
No,
You can
no,
do
not
it
at
in
all.
person. It's so
No.
good. So
Yeah,
who can
no.
benefit the most, do you think, from family constellations?
I think
And
everybody should
yeah,
do it.
yeah. Oh,
Really.
yeah. Okay,
Not
cool.
everybody's
Yeah.
open to it,
Yes.
but yeah, because I just think it's profoundly healing work, and uh, yeah, it's amazing. It really is. It honestly is amazing, and I think I've been a lot calmer and happier with what I've been doing. Oh, I know that.
Yes. Yeah.
Because yeah, it's the calm that comes when you're actually doing a constellation. I get a healing when I'm doing it for somebody as well. So it's
I love
amazing. It's just,
the way you explained that,
yeah,
because being that conduit and that channel for spirit, and I love it when you kind of give a healing, you also get a healing. And
absolutely.
yeah, and being that witness and holding space for someone and seeing that calm come over them, that kind of, it's just so rewarding, isn't it?
It's extremely rewarding. Yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful. So how important is it to know your family history before starting a family constellations work? Is that something, you know, I know people always say to me, "Oh, have you had your chart done?" Now I don't actually know my birth time. So is it important that you have all of that family history, or is it more intuitive, more energetic, and can you kind of get the information you need without all the specific kind of information, if that makes sense? Yeah?
Yeah, you can, because it's helpful if people do have it done. It really doesn't matter because the information is there at a soul family level, so it's all there. We just sort of tap into that, and then we go from there, and we say healing sentences. A friend of mine just makes a movement with the mats, and she says, "Well, there's a shift." So it's because it's all about energy, and as long as there's some sort of a shift, I like to say I think healing sentences are good, but yeah. So
Yeah, I love witnessing those shifts. It's amazing.
it is
Can
amazing. It really is.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
Love it so much. I think it's that beautiful, really deep work that makes such a difference to people's happiness, their peace. They can move forward, they can
Oh,
heal kind of
absolutely.
relationship patterns. Can you share a really powerful success story where family constellations had a profound impact, do you think, Bec? Do you?
Um, well, so there was that lady that I spoke about before who
Yes.
came to me. She wasn't speaking to her father at all. But there was also a lady that came to me here in Victoria, and she didn't have a great relationship with her mother, and now she has a much better relationship with her mother. Um, I know of a friend who had a condition still going on with her leg, and they did a constellation. I'm sure she wouldn't mind me saying this. They did a constellation, and that was healed. So it can be really life changing. It can
Yeah.
really, it can heal anxiety, depression, exclusion, you know, um, yeah, just so many things. It's you know, but because there are these rivers of love in, in families and everything, you can do the work, but that, sometimes the shift doesn't happen straight away. It might be, it might be tomorrow, it might be a week, it might be a month, it could
Yes,
even be a year, because there are just so many, as you know, so many factors that have to
yes.
happen.
Well, it really is that
Yeah,
multi-dimensional healing, isn't it? Because everything's so connected, like that
absolutely.
emotional, mental, physical, spiritual connection, everything's so, woven in. So I
Absolutely.
love the way you explained that. And I just love this concept of rivers of love within families, and that the foundation is actually love. And I love that you said that, love's, love's real, and everything's in that, knowing space. So beautifully the way beautiful the way you explained that.
Well, it's amazing that there's this um, sort of information that comes down the line too, because
Yes,
it's
yeah,
with the epigenetic studies that a neuroscientist, Rachel Yakuta, did in Mount Sinai, about how the Holocaust, the grandparents are in the in the camps in the
yes,
Holocaust.
yeah,
Their grandchildren have the same low cortisol levels as the grandparents that were in the camps. So
yeah.
it's in our DNA, and it affects your DNA too. Is carried down the line, but so can joy, peace, happiness, and all that stuff. So you can change it for future generations, which is what's amazing, isn't it? Really, I mean,
That
you know,
transformational work of that alchemy, turning,
yeah, absolutely,
alchemizing pain into peace,
yeah,
and creating that osmosis, that ripple effect. You're not just healing yourself, you're healing everyone that comes after you,
I
everyone that
know
comes before you. And often trauma is, sometimes physically passed down, through patterning and all of that, but yeah, it's in the DNA, it's
it
embedded.
is, yeah,
So
absolutely.
so great. So what advice would you give to someone new to the practice and considering sort of like giving it a try? Maybe they've tried lots of different things. Perhaps they have some family trauma where they can't actually have their father in their life any longer because of whatever reason, or, you know, um, what advice would you give to someone that's kind of new to it?
Well, they could just give me a call or email me, and we'll have a chat, and we'll see if it's for them. Um,
Yes.
you know, I personally believe that it's for everybody, but
Yeah.
you know, I mean, yeah,
Do you know what
just
I
give
love
me a
about
call.
you're so genuine about it, because I've known you for quite some time, and I
I
love
have
and
known you
adore
a while.
you, and I know that everything you do, I know you walk your talk, and I know you're, you know, yeah, I just know that you have integrity, and I know that you really care about this work. And to me, it's really obvious that you walk your talk. And even when you describe it and explain it, you're very authentic and genuine about it. It just comes through. So it made so much sense for me to get you on the podcast talking about this incredibly transformational healing work. Yeah. So
Thank you, Susie. You're
you're
very
very
kind.
welcome. You're all, all true, all true. So how do
I'm
you
not used
integrate? You're not
to
used to
this.
hearing that, are you?
No,
No,
no, sorry. Yeah,
no. So
sorry.
that's all right. I'm curious as to how do you integrate family constellations with other wellness practices in your coaching too? Because I know that you've been on your own well-being journey, and you've had
I
your
have.
own metamorphosis, your own kind of transformational healing in around your own physical, emotional, mental, and I know well-being's really important to me too. And we've talked
Absolutely.
about this, you and I have talked about this in the past, where often sensitive, empathic, intuitives often are very sensitive in their physical being as well. It's not just
Yes. Yes.
emotional, mental sensitivity, it's also physical sensitivity as well. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I do life coaching as well, and um, if somebody comes to me, and so we would set a goal, a main goal, and then we would divide each week up into smaller goals.
Yes.
And if there was a blockage and we really felt like the client couldn't move forward, then we could do a constellation, because then, if they were open to it, because then it may shift the energy, which, because it can just sometimes help things shift. And it can also
Yes.
give you a sense of calm. A cousin of mine came to me, and because you can have a bit of a reaction sometimes because energy is shifting after a constellation. So I
Yeah.
said to
Yeah.
her, how are you feeling after the constellation? And she said, look, honestly, Beck, I'm fine. I have a sense of peace after it. And I just said, well, that's fantastic, because,
Yes. Even if
having a
they
sense.
get, a good night's sleep and they haven't slept for months, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
can be healing in itself.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, very much so. Do you know what I love about the work you do too? Like life coaching and, wellness coaching is incredible on its own. But in saying that, I have people come to me that often go, look, I really want to do this thing, but there's just something, I've got some kind of block or some kind of something's holding me back, and I don't even really understand what that is. And so there's no point sort of coaching someone unless they're really kind of clearing those blockages, those perceived blockages
Oh,
that are in the way.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And with family constellations, it can actually be something that an ancestor went through that's being played out now. So
Yes.
that can help shift something that we don't understand. Or, Mark Wallen, who is a really good, he's written books on It Didn't Start With Us, I think it's called. And he talks about how, it didn't start with us, but it can end with us, so it's just, we
Oh, that's
can, yeah,
profound. It didn't start with
yeah,
us, but it
but
can end with us.
yeah, so
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I do too. I really like that. I think that's because it just goes down the line until it's healed, until it's seen,
Yes.
heard, and acknowledged,
And it
really.
might not happen overnight, as you said. It might be a
No,
progressive healing journey, and maybe it's meant to be, because there's a lot of learning and growth
absolutely,
in, a healing journey as well. So,
absolutely,
sometimes it can be miraculous, instant. Other times it can be more of a progressive healing journey, but it's so worth the journey, though. It's so worth going on that journey.
I fully
Um,
believe so. Yeah, I think
yeah,
so.
yeah, yeah.
I think we're just happier human beings, when we do the healing, when we do the work, you know,
Yes, yeah.
because life is always going to throw things at you that, a bit of a, you know, you don't expect, because it's just what life is, But if you do the healing work, I just think it just helps you cope with everything, and
Well,
you're
there's
happier,
less
I think,
trauma triggers then, isn't there, too?
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
it's a
absolutely.
more proactive, conscious way of living, as opposed to that kind of oh, why did I react so dramatically to that? Like, or, why has that, thrown me in a spiral for days on end, when really it was just a conversation I had with someone? Or why
Absolutely,
does that one
absolutely.
person always
Trigger me.
trigger me? And, and then I go down that rabbit hole of, and yeah, I find it really interesting too, because I've done a lot of healing work over the years, and I've done a lot of healing modalities and all of that. But I often find too that, healing is like a layer upon layers. So, you might think you've healed that thing, and you have to a certain extent. But then, there's another layer of that. So, yeah, yeah. So that kind of the healing of the
Absolutely,
layers is so profound. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that, my love. It's been so wonderful talking to you. How do people find you? I know that you've got your Facebook as well, and we're also going to put Beck's beautiful contacts in the show notes too. But
Um,
yeah,
oh,
what's the best way to contact you, do you think?
Facebook page, the Life Coaching and Family Constellations. would be great. Be fantastic.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And so, and you've got my email and phone number up there as well, I
I've
think.
got all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fantastic.
So, is there anything that you would like to share before we finish up today?
No, I don't think so. I think we've covered everything.
I think we've covered
It's just,
everything. Yeah.
yeah, profoundly healing work. And if anybody's interested, they contact me. That would be fantastic. Thanks
Yes.
very much.
Yeah. Take the leap, do the work, and the benefits are incredibly profound. And, Bec is an amazing facilitator of this beautiful healing modality as well. So look her up. Yay. Thanks,
Thanks so
Bec. Thank you, my
much.
love. I've
Bye.
really enjoyed today. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Bye.
Thank you.